that you have never experienced before for days. Why? Because they are not ready. Hello, assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to El Sutra Essentials. My name is Balkisa Aliyu and you're highly welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be discussing about the sacrifices we make for giving birth or for giving life. So this is what a young woman or a young adult goes through while giving birth. So in a normal society, a young woman has a choice to decide whether to get married at a certain age, and then she decides when she wants to give birth to a baby. And then when she got pregnant, she is always surrounded by specialists, by her loved ones, by the community. She interacted with people and she has an idea of where her life is going to be and what her life is going to look like after having the baby, as well as how she's going to be able to take care of the baby. So after having a baby, many women in many circumstances goes through a lot of phases in life. These times are called baby blue, anxiety, depression, and a lot of things that comes with postpartum, imbalanced hormones after childbirth, and so on and so forth. So at this moment, this is the time where she is surrounded by her family members, by her loved ones, and also specialists to observe and also make recommendation on how to move on with her life and how she can overcome all these difficulties. Many women in a remote or in villages in Africa, in Asia, especially in Africa, in Nigeria, they have no choice to all these options. In fact, a young girl from ages 12 to 15 have no choice to who or when she will get married and when she wants to have a baby. So as young as age 12, 13, 14 years old, they are married off to the choice of their parents, mostly to adults that are way older. And even if they are younger, they can impregnate them, which their body is not built enough to be able to pass out a baby. Women that are fully grown, that are maybe at age of 25, even 30 years, even plus 30s, there are women that has condition that they will not be able to pass out a baby through the birth canal. That is just the structure and that is just how they were created. So these conditions were observed by the doctors, by specialists, to know that if a woman will be able to have a baby naturally from her birth canal or if she's going to go through C-section. So these young ladies in the rural areas of Nigeria have no access to specialists or hospitals. They are married off in the village, they conceive, they go through all the phases of pregnancy, 9 months, and they go into labor. Naturally, labor is painful for any age, for any size, any condition. Labor is painful. That is why in the modern societies you have an option of epidural, where you get parts of your body to be turned off from pain, from feeling, so you have your baby without feeling that much pain. In rural areas like this, girls like this have no access to hospital. They have no access to any specialists. They are only surrounded by midwives, local midwives that have been practicing for years. And they don't know the condition of the baby, if the baby is breech, if the baby is not okay, it's not breathing right or anything, or if her cervix is too tight for the baby to come out. They don't know that. All they tell you is to push the baby out. So these young girls will go through a lot of horrible experience, this painful experience that you have never ever imagined in your life, that you have never experienced before, for days. Why? Because they are not ready and their body is not ready to push a baby out. So sometimes it takes about 2, 3, 4 days. And you know what happens when the water broke? When your bath water broke and the baby is not out for certain hours and you didn't have a C-section, the baby will suffocate because they lack air, they lack food, they lack oxygen. So usually their babies suffocate and die. And they may end up having the baby, a dead baby. Imagine that horrible experience. That is not where it stopped. That is just the beginning of their horrible experience in life. Because of that pressure that the baby was pushing the baby through the birth canal, the baby is pushing through the walls of their bladder, they will get a tear or a hole or what they call VVF. I'm going to write the full meaning of VVF for you guys to see. So due to this pushing and the pressure that will give them a tear, they will start having an uncontrollable urine. So their discharge, their passing out of urine is not controlled by them anyway. They are also gonna go through a lot of exposure to infection because of this tear, because of the urine, because the urine now is coming out in not a natural way. And imagine how much they needed to be changing clothes. If you are just urinating without you being in control, without you getting to the bathroom, do you have the option to wear a diaper? They live in the rural areas where they don't even have access to diapers. And imagine as a growing adult wearing a diaper, even if you have the option. So some of these women end up getting infection, right, through these processes. For most of these girls that survived, and they are lucky for their family to take them to a facility or to a center where they can get surgeries, they end up in the facility, they end up in these centers waiting for someone to come rescue them, waiting for someone to sponsor their surgeries so they can get their virtue back. Because the option of staying in the villages with the rest of the community comes with betrayal, comes with rejection. Mostly these girls got divorced. Husband will reject them and send them home because they are smelling. They are passing out odor that you don't want to be surrounded by them. Their friends will talk about them and their condition. Community will also talk about them. So they won't be able to be in a community gathering. They won't be able to be with their peers or friends. So eventually, they will get into isolation. They isolate themselves, which comes with depression. Because when you're isolated, you just lost a baby. In fact, they are not even thinking about the baby. Now they are thinking about themselves because they are babies themselves. They're thinking about how to get their life back. They just started a life and now it's all taken away from them. You're married, now you don't have a husband. You have friends, now you don't have friends. You have community, now you are by yourself. And you don't even have the virtue to yourself as a woman. You are not even clean. Can you even imagine how these young girls can pray with this condition? So when they're taken to the hospitals, they usually will put it is where the urine will process, and they will have a body with them around, going around the hospitals and the facility, waiting and waiting. I know no woman will ever imagine to be in this situation, because this situation is painful, it's depressive. To think that now you can't even go around, you can't even go out to a store to pick up something because someone is going to see you holding a potty where your urine is passing. So you are in your own cave, hiding, thinking about life, thinking about what you did to deserve what you're going through. So, what can we do to help this woman? What can we do to restore the virtue of this young woman? I am working with the herons, vestibular, vaginal, to do a corrective surgery for this young woman. So their mission is to do a corrective surgery for this woman, to these young growing adults that end up in these facilities. And part of their mission is to sponsor a woman one at a time. But this Ramadan, their goals is to sponsor at least 10 women to get surgeries. This is not where it ends. After the surgeries, what happened? You are going back to your community, you are going back to your family and starting off a life. But they have been through a lot. So part of the goals for this mission is to give them a psychological rehabilitation. That's a therapy program for them to heal from the inside, so they will bounce back to life. After their therapy section, Herons is going to give them a skill, a natural skill, something they can do, something they can do with their life, like maybe tailoring, soap making skills, candle making skills, knitting, almost anything that they can go back to their villages and do as a business. After they learn the skills, they are going to also have a startup capital, or they may have an equipment that is going to help them to start that business, so they can start off again, all over again. Imagine you being part of this program, donating to this cause and making these young women happy again, back into their community, where their community are going to embrace them back again as human beings, as people that have lived and come back with a skill and a business. So part of the program is also to train midwives, local midwives, to train them, to give them more education and more knowledge for them to understand if these women needed hospitals, so they can try and rush them to the hospitals, not to give birth at home. I am going to be showing you a video of a young girl who goes through this process and has been in the facility for some time, and she got her surgery and she's in recovery.
Most of these young women and girls affected with VVF are from poor backgrounds in remote villages. Because of their age, diet, and some other factors, these women are underdeveloped and can't afford to give birth naturally on their own without proper health care. So they resort to local midwives in their communities. The closest hospital could be about 15 to 50 miles away from them, and these women can't afford services in a hospital. So during delivery, they end up in prolonged labor for up to 4 days, without epidural or painkillers. The baby usually dies about 90% of the time, and then they develop incontinence. Most husbands divorce these women, and they get ostracized by their communities. Please join us in our journey in eradicating VVF, one woman at a time. Thank you.
I'm also going to be showing you a young girl who also lost her baby through the process, and she's still in the hospital waiting for sponsorship. Are you ready to be part of this program? Are you ready to sponsor a surgery? Are you ready to make a woman happy? Are you ready to restore the virtue of another woman? Today, by making a donation to this cause, by donating, $1 is more than enough to push through, because one person cannot do it alone. Imagine just the $10 or the $20 that you usually walk into a restaurant, buy coffee, just buy your favorite snack and enjoy it. Imagine you sacrificing that to donation, to donate to this cause so that you can get reward by Almighty Allah. This Ramadan, all you need to do is to work hard by coming closer to your Almighty, and part of it is by making other people happy and by helping a cause like this. This is almost a zakat for you. I'm going to link a movie trailer under the description so you can watch the movie on Amazon Prime and see exactly what this kind of woman goes through. This movie was dedicated to VVF women and how their process goes. It is a very, very emotional movie. If you watch it, you will understand what it means to be in that situation. And finally, I'm going to link the donation link under the description box so you can donate to this cause, so you can also get rewarded by doing or restoring the virtue of another woman. So thank you so much for watching this video this long, and thank you so much for your utmost donation, and thank you so much for supporting this program, and I will see you in my next video.